Hi, this is Tim from UK Home Gym, your home for UK specific independent home gym tips and advice. And today I have a special video for runners who are aged 40 and above. And if you are like me, aged 40 and above, maybe you're surrounded by other people who are similar age to you and they are telling you this kind of thing. I'm getting slower. I can't do fast times anymore. I still enjoy running, but the days of me running quickly are long gone. And until very, very recently, I was quite inclined to agree with them because, the days of me doing faster times, the days of my PBs and stuff like that, they were sort of in my mid 20s, I'd like to say, when I sort of first started running. I was a completely different person back then. I didn't do any exercise at all other than playing football and running. Those were just the two only forms of exercise that I did. So I didn't do any strength work whatsoever. I never went to any kind of gym or anything like that. I didn't have a home gym. Um, but I would run all the time and I play football all the time, which involved a lot of running as well. At that time, I would sort of run twice a week as well as my football, and I would do one long run on Sundays, and I'd do a fast run on Wednesdays. I would just go out as basically as fast as I could, and then at the weekend I would go almost as fast as I could, but for a longer distance, and I would probably do 10 to 15, something like that, kilometers. Maybe a bit more if I was training for a half marathon. And back then, I got some times I was quite happy with and finished in, the top 25, top 50, stuff like that in some small 10Ks or whatever. I've never been a very prolific, I've never been a very top level runner. I'm nowhere near that kind of level. But anyway, I got some good times. And last year, no, sorry, the year before that, I was, yeah, no, it was last year, sorry. Last year, I entered a race that I've done maybe 15, 20 times, and um, I got a really slow time, and it sort of irked me a bit because I got over 50 minutes, and I still think that's quite a decent time, but it's the first time I'd ever. It was quite a psychological barrier to go over 50 minutes, and I really was determined to get back to you know not necessarily to the faster times I'd done, but just to keep myself underneath that 50-minute barrier. Now it's a very, very hilly run. This run I'm talking about, this 10K, and it's got a really nasty sort of 3 kilometer hill to finish. You sort of finish on a hill, and it's a very tough run. But still, going over that, I just remember when I finished, 50 minutes, 40, something like that. I finished and I resolved. I really felt this resolution in me. Next year. I'm coming back and I'm going under 40. Going under 50 minutes. 49, whatever. 49, 59 will be fine for me. That's what I want to do. I trained quite a bit to do this. Even though I'm doing marathon training at the same time, I really wanted to get that time. It was like a goal for me for this year when I signed up to do that one. And it's a winter race, so it's quite hardcore. And I went into it and I had a real strategy about how I was going to do it, and because I knew that some of the kilometers were going to be slow because they were uphill. Now, bear in mind, I'm in my 40s now. When I got my better times, I was in my 20s. I weigh about 15 kilograms more than I did when I was doing my PB times. I was quite skinny back then. Since then, I've put on quite a lot of muscle and maybe some fat as well. I don't know, but anyway, I think I put on quite a lot of muscle in that time. And I've really got into my strength training. And I thought I will never get anywhere near my PB again, but I really want to get underneath that 50-minute, that 50-minute barrier. I want to break it again. So I really went for it. I put everything I could into the training. I put everything I could into the race itself. I thought a lot about my race strategy and so on. I really wasn't looking too much at the time. I was just trusting I had a watch on, and I was checking it, but every now and then. But really, I was just focused on my strategy and trying to get in there. And as I got to the finish line, I went through the finish line and I was 10 seconds away from doing a PB. So it was basically, yeah, 10 seconds away from my best time ever on even like a flat surface. And I was just astonished. I really didn't understand how I'd managed to do that. I hadn't just I hadn't just achieved my goal. I'd gone to an area of running I really didn't expect I'd be able to do. And I put some thought into it, and I thought, why was I able to do that time? Why was I able to revisit a time that, I haven't seen for the, 15, 20 odd years? Um, you know, I was racking my brains trying to think of the reason. And eventually I realized that this all comes back to home gyms and having a home gym, because having a home gym means that I've been able to do a lot of strength work. I've been able to do not just, the exercises that runners do or should do or whatever to strengthen your legs. I've done, a lot of work on the upper body as well, a lot of work on the core as well. And it made me realize the home gym itself, or having a gym, or even going to a commercial gym, is not going to make you any faster, because it's going to make you put on muscle. It's going to, muscle that you look at the top runners in the world. These guys, they look stick thin. They might do strength work, but they don't have a lot of muscle. They're not hybrid athletes for sure. And I consider myself to be, an amateur hybrid athlete, or a hybrid trainee. Maybe that's a better way to explain it. So it's not going to make you any faster. It doesn't make you, maybe it makes you explosive over the 100 meters or something like that. But over a 10K, it's not going to make you any faster over a 10K. But what it does give you, having a home gym, or going to a commercial gym if you prefer, but I think having a home gym is more convenient. But anyway, maybe more on that later. It's going to give you more overall injury resistance, because when you need to go and push it in an interval session or something like that, or you're going to do a long run and you're going to finish fast in that long run, your muscles are not going to struggle as they would, if you don't do anything to strengthen them. Just running is never going to be enough to keep you out of injuries way. Because back then, when I was doing my PBs and I was a lot younger, in my mid-20s or whatever, I would get injured all the time, because I'd run like a maniac, and I would not do any kind of strength training. So my muscles were just they weren't prepared to deal with, the kind of brutal uphill and downhill running at pace that you need to do during, a sort of mixed terrain 10K. The overall strength as well, not just the strength in your legs. There's so many runners overlook this. They go in there and they're like, I've got to do this nasty thing. I've got to go and do, the strength work that I've got to do, and I've got to do deadlifts, and I've got to do squats, and who cares about the upper body stuff? No, the upper body stuff is really important. The whole body should be balanced. You don't want to have imbalances so that you just got strong legs and a wiry sort of top part. Maybe if you're a professional athlete and you're trying to do something, special in terms of, that's your living or whatever, maybe there's an argument for that. But if you're just a general sort of, an amateur like myself, that's all you want to do. You want to have that you want to be able to have strength throughout your body, and the core strength as well. You get a lot of core strength from the compound exercises, from squats and deadlifts and stuff like that. That really helps you, because if you look at some of the race photographs of, runners towards the end of the race, you can see they're sort of crumpling in on themselves, and that muscle balance, that stability that you have from heavy compound lifts is really gonna help you. And having a home gym, I think this is the real takeaway from this. Having a home gym, or going to a commercial gym if you prefer, but I think having a home gym gives you more flexibility. Um, it means that you can push yourself in terms of volume, and in terms of intensity. But, you know, this is where it comes in, as being an older runner, um, older anyway, in your 40s, or whatever. Yes, you do have time against you because you don't have, your muscles are naturally atrophying, but you can fight back against that with your strength training plan. You can. I've definitely got more muscle in my legs than I had when I was in my 20s. I can see it, and I can feel it. And to have that means that you can go confidently into like bigger blocks of volume, bigger blocks of intensity, and you can combine that with the sort of your experience and your accumulated wisdom, and you now know things that you didn't know when you were younger. You didn't really care to look into those things when you were younger. And I think that is the way, if you follow that kind of formula, if you do the strength work, if you do, if you incorporate that, and you become like a hybrid athlete, if possible, that's going to help you so much more. You'll be able to do what I've done. I don't think I've done anything particularly remarkable. It was great to finish in the top 70 again, of a race, with a big field, and I just thought those days had gone. And I realized, no, they've not gone. If I want to turn it back on again, if I want to focus on it, as long as my strength level is still high, I can go for it. And maybe you can do the same kind of thing too. Anyway, I wonder if you have any thoughts on this subject. Maybe you're looking to do a PB, or you're looking to sort of get back to the times that you used to do. I don't think it's unrealistic. I think it's actually very realistic, having done it myself, and I don't think there's anything particularly special about me. So if I can do it, so can you. Anyway, please do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you have to say on this matter. Please like, share, subscribe, anything like that would really help me grow the channel. Please do check out our website. That's ukhomegym.com, and I'll see you next time on UK Home Gym.